So we're starting to try to figure out steering, and so we notched the basket and smoothed it out with the Dremel to have the tie rods be able to move freely. And now we're starting to dummy up the steering shaft and get an idea of how our pitman arm and bracketry for the shaft is going. Alright, so I got this chunk of plate cut out for my pitman arm, and I'm going to drill the holes that I need in. I need to have a hole for the tie rods to connect to, and I need to have a hole in it that I'll then cut through the center diameter of that one to have it made up nicely to the steering shaft. So I'm going to drill those holes in it first, and then I'll cut it to length. Jesus. Okay, so our next step here with the steering system is going to be figuring out the bracket at the bottom of the steering shaft here. So I've made a little notch in the basket here to make room for that shaft, or not that shaft, excuse me, that the tab that our shaft's gonna be supported by here at the bottom. And then I went ahead and cut it out of cardboard here just to get an idea of what we're going to be doing. And basically the tab's going to sit flush against the front face of the front axle, but in the basket it's easier to show here. And then it's going to bend at that angle to make it perpendicular to the tube, or the steering shaft, so that the steering shaft slides in nicely. And then I'll cut a piece of flat plate out, bend it at the angle, drill the hole for the steering shaft, and then tack it into place. Alright, so I got the piece bent. To do that, I put it in the vise vertically like this, and then whacked on the top side of it with the mallet until it just bent over like that at the right angle, and just checked that with the protractor till it was good. And now I've got the piece in the vise this way, and mark the spot where I'm going to drill it. And yeah, time to drill the hole for the steering shaft to slide into. All right, so we got the basket taken off, got the frame tossed up on the table, and got the bracket clamped into place, and all the surfaces cleaned up here, so we're good to weld. All right, so got the basket back on it, and we got that bracket tacked into place down there. So yeah, it's nice. The basket is removable. I think our goal is to be able to remove the basket even when the thing's finished, so we're trying to make it so that all our steering components and linkage all are able to either be removed or have the basket slide around them when it goes in and out. So, you know, it's not the most centered thing in the world. I don't know. It's pretty centered. The bend is a little off, but it's within tolerances. It's a yard cart at the end of the day. And yeah, the whole is pretty centered up with the frame. The tab itself has a little bit of English to it, but overall turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that.